of your body, the health of your body. It opens the heart. You do conscious breathing, and you can smile. Those simple things will make a difference in the health of your body, especially if you practice them and other elements on this list on a day-to-day basis. You can actually see your body responding to these things. So let's start by sitting straight, relaxing the shoulders, both feet on the floor if you can. Some of you may be lying down, that's fine. Maybe you want to close your eyes so you can go inward and begin to take slow, deep breaths. Some people like to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in, and the same number out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As slow as you like. Excuse me. Taking some slow, deep breaths. And notice your body relaxing. Perhaps you feel a sense of peace and comfort as you breathe. Remember, we only have to do this for a few minutes to activate our vagal tone. So let's take a few more deep, slow breaths. And as we breathe slowly, focus on the heart. You may want to put your hand on your heart. Breathe through your nose. Take long, slow belly breaths. In other words, breathe all the way to your belly so that you can feel it rise and fall. And focus on the heart. Energy goes where our focus flows. And imagine right now that there is a beautiful rosebud within your heart. And as you breathe, this rosebud slowly opens to that of a magnificent rose. Just like the essence of your being is magnificent. And as your rose opens, you may want to bring to mind an element in your life right now that you are truly grateful for. It may be a person, it may be a pet, it could be the beauty that you have in your life, it could be anything. Feel the gratitude of one special thing in your life. And while you feel gratitude, perhaps a smile will cross your face. That in itself enhances your vagal tone. Right there you've done 3 elements for enhancing vagal tone. Take a few more slow, deep breaths. As you feel ready, if you can come back to the room, to your room. I hope you all enjoyed that and found it easy and nurturing for yourselves. It's so important in healing that we love and nurture ourselves. One of the elements that I derived from Glenn Rhine's research was unconditional love. And being someone who was in great pain, whose whole body was disfigured, I looked like a bald woman with a few sprigs of straw from her head, swollen face, and every time I looked in the mirror, I did not recognize the person looking back at me. And I remembered asking myself, how can I love this person when she is so ill, so painful, so immobile, so helpless, and not at all easy to look at? And I found that gratitude helped me love my body, because I woke up in it every morning and I felt gratitude for being able to be alive in this body just as it was, because it was working so hard to keep me alive. So gratitude is very, very powerful. It's probably one of our most powerful things that we can use in our lives, because gratitude brings grace and allows us to have more of what we're grateful for. So we want to focus on those things that we want more of and are grateful for having already, to invite more of those aspects into our lives.
Yeah, I know that there's also that spiritual aspect, and we started touching on that right before we climbed on together.
Yes.
And I feel like when I, recently was going through that transitional period in my life, that that just, if I was especially feeling sad, if my vagal tone was not good, it's just handing it over. Like, please do something with this and let me go on without pain, without sadness, without fog, and that helps too.
Absolutely, because surrendering is also very, very powerful. If we can surrender to grace, to spirit, to our souls, our higher selves, whatever name we want to use, God, and let go of control, which can be hard for some of us who like to be in control. That magical things can happen. Another element that I experienced was around this when I was ill. I surrendered. I was deeply involved in my spirituality during my illness. I actually felt as if I was in a state of grace. I had no fear. Fear is one of the key elements that actually stops healing, because it sets off a whole cascade of chemicals. For instance, cortisol, which is a stress hormone, is part of the sympathetic nervous system. And so for me, the first thing that I was able to have help with was I called a friend the first day I received that nocebo, who was a natural healer. She's also a gifted intuitive. When she saw me that day, she saw that my organs were indeed shutting down. Life force was draining from my body. And rather than applying some of her natural healing techniques, maybe it was a natural healing technique, she worked with me. She actually brought a friend to work with her. I had two of the women working with me for all of the day and into the evening about releasing fear. Because when we release fear, we're open to hope and peace and love. And when I returned to my home after that day, I had no fear. I had no fear throughout the illness, even though all the medical people said there's no cure. can't cure this. And I did, because, in great part, because no fear was present within my body after I was supported as lovingly as I was. And we expect to do the same thing for anyone fighting an illness. And we will teach techniques to move beyond that, beyond fear. But Danny, you mentioned how important spirituality is. I think a big element of spirituality is simply returning to the core of our true essence. I think quite often those things, that true essence, gets clouded over with our fears, our beliefs, and we don't see it. We forget that we are actually, as I mentioned earlier to you, we are actually magnificent beings in our spiritual sense. And we can regain that, and it's important to regain that because our lives can change. I know my life was 20 years ago. I came out very different than the way I entered that disease. I felt like a new reborn person, and that can be the gift of illness. It can kind of force us into exploring different aspects of ourself, trusting that the highest and best happens. I remember I didn't care whether my body actually healed because I felt so peaceful and good inside my being. That's what really counted, was my experience of life. And because of the practices I did daily, often several times a day, my inner world was very nice, very peaceful, in spite of the image looking back at me in the mirror. And to me, that is true spirituality, regaining the truth of who we are, loving ourselves, being kind to ourselves, learning to let go of that critical voice within, because that can run the show so easily.
It's like when you surrender, and when you surrender, you let go of those beliefs.
Yes.
And the fear and maybe the anger, frustration, whatever it is that is not helping.
No.
And it becomes like when you truly surrender, I notice in my body, I can feel it. It's just, and then it becomes neutral. And if it's neutral, then you can remember who you really are, your essence.
Yes.
We don't have to get confused. Right? Like, who am I? You know, we don't have to go there. Mm-hmm. We know already. So I love that. It's really well said. You know, we do have time for you to tell us this wonderful story that you just heard about, or
sure, I'd love to.
Love for you to share that.
I received this testimony from a woman who had done the courses. She took it twice because she liked it so well. But she has an amazing story. And it's kind of long. So I've highlighted words that I feel might be important so that you can get the story. She actually came from your course and you, Danny. She came from Superpower. When she heard my interview with you in 2001, she wasn't able to attend any courses at that time. But in January 2022, she attended the courses. And before that, she had, is it possible to put up her image, her x-rays, Daniel? Just so people, the before and after. Okay, this is the first x-ray. You see the little breaks in her spine where the cartilage is missing. And the next one shows a clear picture of the before and after. Okay, so we have on our right the before image of her spine. Pinched nerves. She went to 3 osteopaths. All 3 wanted to operate and operate right away. And because she had heard Danny interview me and she learned through that interview, she doesn't have to do that she can heal her own body. I'm not saying that that's appropriate for everyone, but for her, she had an inner knowing, her intuitive knowing led her to believe that she could heal this on her own, and heal she did. If we look at the right image of the x-ray, we see that her spine is now normal. And so what she said is, I completed the course. I learned the healing protocol, which is taught in the course. I became part of 2 wonderfully supportive healing groups. And this is, again, part of keeping the vagal nerve active and functioning, which were a monthly group, a weekly group. She calls them her sisterhood. I am still doing my intentions every day. It is now 18 plus months later. I am so good. My core is very strong. My spine is stable. My back challenge became my gift, a gift that my soul wanted me to have, one I signed up for, so that I can step into my divine, with you catapulting me, she's talking to me, catapulting me there, and my healing buddies supporting me all the way. So this is one person's story. If you look at the website, you'll find a whole lot of people talking about how this course affects their lives
Nice.
in a positive way.
Well, that's an inspiring story. Is she, I mean, does she feel like she still has healing to go, or that she's ready to live?
She said that she has a little, she says she's 95% pain-free, whereas before she couldn't function. Just sometimes I have a situation of a muscle putting pressure on the sciatica if I sit for too long. That's it.
Yeah.
She's actually one of our healing angels.
Oh, nice.
So when the people do the online course, she's there to support them.
And that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to have that. To have somebody especially who's gone through it.
Yes.
Has lived it, has the results from it. Like, so, I did go through your course. It's a profound opportunity. And I did notice, like, immediately that for those of us who are putting the effort into it that it requires, there was a clear divide, for those who were interested in the information.
Yes.
And bring the information back just in case in the future, or those that are actually going through something that could be life-threatening, really did the work. And I was witnessing differences in people that needed to do this, did the work, and were making progress as they went. So, but I haven't since heard about a story such as this one, and this is wonderful. So thank you for sharing that.
And you're so right, Danny. It takes our own effort. It takes being responsible for our bodies, not being a victim. It's so easy to blame our bodies, as I did for a while when I first became so desperately ill. I felt like, what's my body doing to me? And yet it was probably the most profound gift I ever experienced, just like what this woman says. It was a gift to bring her back to her true self. And so that's the gift of health. Should we choose to take responsibility, act on it? I think that is such a key element, because it's like anything in life. We get out what we put in. Sort of like, how can we expect, miracles happen?
Yeah, no, it's true. And something that really helped me to have appreciation for when my body wasn't it was fully inflamed, or yeah, I was in pain, or I was having to move slowly, was actually the kind of compassion that I might have for another human being. I brought back to my body. Instead of thinking of it to myself or to me, it was like, this is my body, right? We are more than our physical bodies. Yes. So I'm now thankful to my body that it's doing everything that it can possibly do to heal me. Anything that I might be able to help with that, ingest or meditate or yoga or, whatever it is, I do. But to thank my body for also working so hard to do its job. And trying to remember that inflammation is a form of protection. It's a form of, and all these other things that may seem bad to us are actually our body's way of trying to heal and trying to get us better. And to be so thankful for the work that our bodies are doing, because they are amazing.
It's so easy to take them for granted.
Yes. And to be mad at them.
Yes.
It's like,
yes. Because they listen, the cells in our body listen to every single thought we have, every belief we have, every feeling we have. And they work really hard, our cells, to just do what we ask them, do what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're believing, even though it may work against us. People who are given nocebos have a choice to make. They can either believe the medical people. I'm thinking of John's sister who died 2 years ago from pancreatic cancer. She was told at the time of her prognosis that she would have only 6 months to live. She made them right. In exactly 6 months, she was gone. She really couldn't comprehend that she could be responsible for her body and turn her illness around, because she believed the medical people, not John, not me. And so that's how powerful our thoughts and beliefs can be, even to our deaths, by making us right. It's like the cells are neutral. What are we going to feed them? Are we feeding them love and warmth and caring and gratefulness, like you say, Danny? Or are we judging? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with that with my body? I know that's easy to do because in our society, we're programmed to be a victim, including a victim of our bodies. Yet we have capabilities within us to heal the unthinkable, just like I did. You can do it too. If I can do it, I'm just a normal person. I have no medical training. There's nothing special about me, I can guarantee you. But I do get that I'm supposed to be here sitting with you now and sharing possibilities if you are one who is suffering from any kind of illness, emotional or physical or spiritual. Actually, our spirits, our souls, never need healing. They're always perfect. It's just uncovering the stuff that's gotten in the way, where we can't recognize that about ourselves.
Nice. We do have a few minutes for questions. If anybody is wondering about anything, maybe about Annalise's life, her course. Of course, we can go into the course as well. But I wanted to give people, while it's fresh, a chance to ask questions. Let's see. You're receiving many thanks.
Oh.
And, somebody asked, how often should we do this type of exercise? And I'm assuming the exercise that we just did.
The breathing, opening the heart. Especially if you have anything going on with your body, where you're feeling depressed, where you have symptoms beginning to show up every day, several times a day, just like I did. Now, for me, I couldn't breathe when I was ill because, remember, I would walk across the room, I'd be out of breath. But whatever you can do, listen to music, if that lifts your spirit. Whatever you can do from that list to enhance your vagal tone, as often as you feel like you need to. Trust your own knowing about timing. But my thought is that as soon as something feels off, begin that process. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody else asks, how would you get rid of emotional pain?
There are ways to do that, and that's one of the things that is presented in the program. You can begin doing it now. EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. You can find things about it. You can find YouTube is a great resource for learning EFT if you don't already know it. It's very powerful, especially for people who've had experienced trauma and great stress. I didn't know about it when I was ill. I had a different method that was very long and strung out compared to the effectiveness of EFT. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Somebody wants to know what that is a picture of behind you. It touches her, she says.
I bought this picture right after John and I were married. I saw it at a store and thought we needed it at home. So it sits in our office, and it just happens to be placed right behind me, so it creates a backdrop, and I love it. And I wish I could remember, excuse me, the artist's name. She has sketched it down here, but it's kind of a squiggle, and I can't read it. Sorry about that.
Somebody says, I'm a scientist and heal my body from Hashimoto's and autoimmune disease. Calming the vagus nerve is huge.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
And someone else asks, how did you reprogram your DNA? That's a loaded question.
Yes, it is. And you'd have to take the course. I can't share it with you with just a few moments. And I think that you need some foundation before you're ready to work on reprogramming your vagus nerve. What happened for me, I naively sent this to other scleroderma sufferers across the USA. They wanted to know what I'd done. I sent them my list. It was not helpful for them because they had not done any personal work. They hadn't a clue about how to apply it. And that's the purpose of the program, of the course, to create a foundation so that you can use this effectively. That's the key word, effectively.
That's a good point, that what you're teaching isn't necessarily, and for the duration that you're teaching isn't necessarily, one should not have the expectation that you're going to go in very ill and come out ready to rock and roll again.
No.
Yeah, it's
you have the tools. You
right.
have the tools where you can help yourself. And as Danny say, the tools work when you apply them.
Yeah, and I love the piece about the foundation because without that you're flailing.
Mm-hmm. So thanks for your question. I'm sorry I can't answer that in full tonight.
Yeah.
Or today, wherever you are.
Well, we are starting to wonder about the course now with the questions and the comments. So now's a good time to talk about it.
So just so you guys know, there's a new program that's going to be offered, an additional program to the current online program with Support Angels. This is going to be an annual, live, extensive DNA reprogramming. It will be about twice as long as the online version, about roughly 2 hours, where the online version is 1 hour for each session. There are 6 sessions with a bonus session, so 7 sessions in total. This live session may have more. I haven't worked it all through because I only got the intuitive download yesterday. yesterday morning while meditating that we're supposed to have this, that it would be very helpful for people who would like it. And so it's so new, our webmaster hasn't even had an opportunity to get it up on the web. So for now, if you're interested, I encourage you to just contact me and I can help you get registered for it if you'd like to take it. The cost is $199.
Yeah.
And with that, you also get for free the online course I would love for you to do before you come to the live course, and you'll have time. The live course will begin on October 19th. It's a 6-session course, 1 hour each. The live course will be 1 session a week, so 6 weeks and maybe some additional sessions. So,
yeah, that's good. And what we can do, as usual, we'll follow up with how people can contact you in our email. Make sure you're on our list if you haven't. If you're not already signed up, superpowerfilm.com. There's a spot right there at the top of the page to get on our email list. But then also, we'll provide that information within the next couple of days, and also we'll have it on our friends page on our website as well. So, superpowerfilm.com, and then just look at the top or the side, with your choices on which page you'd like to go to, and go to the friends page, and then we'll have more Annalise. I think we have some information right there now, but that's about your online course, right? And we have to update that since this is brand new.
yes.
So we'll get that going as well. Someone asked me, wondering if there's another Superpower Made down the road. Well, if somebody wants to fund that, I will be happy to do that. We have certainly a lot of material, but there are also a lot of people out there doing amazing work. In the meantime, we've got these live programs going, and I haven't made an official announcement yet, so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. But it's all good news. So again, stay on the email list so you can stay abreast of things that are changing, things that are moving forward and expanding, and helping us spread this mission of using our inner powers to guide us, allowing spirit, God, quantum energy, whatever, conscious collective, to help guide us, making the healthy choices that are our right to have and our belonging, and just finding what those are and doing it. And Annalise, you are part of that. Thank you so much for being here, for being alive, and being able to share this.
My great pleasure. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for all you contribute to our lives. I just want to add quickly that our coming together in one group also enhances our planet. Because we're like, when we're together, we're like one heart, all blending together as one, enhancing the health of our planet. So thank you. A great gift you've given all of us.
Beautiful. Thank you. So before I cry, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you, Nathaniel. And we'll see you next month.
Thank you, Dan.